Alright guys, so I'm going to do some mini truck maintenance here today. Needs an exhaust. Exhaust that's currently on it is pretty terrible. I believe it's the original exhaust, but it's pretty much just sitting on the frame here, and it's pretty rotted out. Behind the muffler here, just nothing left. So it definitely needs an exhaust, and it sounds pretty bad right now. I feel like it's kind of affecting the performance a little bit too. So I'm gonna do my best to take this bag of exhaust parts here and try to figure out to do kind of a side exit. I got this muffler, pretty much the cheapest one I could find off of Amazon. Kind of looks like one of the old Honda Civic rattle can mufflers. Hopefully it doesn't sound too riced out or anything. That isn't really my cup of tea, so we'll see what we can do here. The mini truck was all together, but I'm currently working on radio for it. It didn't come with a radio at all, so I had to tap into some other power to get power to that. So it's kind of been a little bit of a project, and there's no holes in the doors either for that, so kind of got those marked out here. And so that's kind of why it's all torn apart. I'm going to do some sound damping to the truck as well, because it's outrageously loud inside this cab when you're driving it. Actually, to get the dash off, you got to drop the entire steering wheel to get those plastic pieces out there. So that's kind of a pain. That's why that's sitting like that. But I'll do a little startup video here so you can kind of hear what it sounds like before. And hopefully we have a good sounding truck after. But as you can hear, it sounds pretty terrible. Just straight muffler. Kind of see it right in there. Pretty bad. It's kind of high idling right now because it's pretty cold where I'm at. But yeah, it sounds pretty terrible. So, alright, so I'm kind of thinking that if I cut it along this smaller spot, that this adapter kind of will slide over top of that, hopefully, and then I can kind of put a little clamp on that or tack it, weld it together. Not quite sure what the best option is yet. Kind of just making it up as I go. And if that doesn't work, I'll cut it back on this higher spot, or this bigger spot there. I ended up just taking that 45-degree bend and kind of went over that entire piece that I cut there. That way I'll be able to, I got some 2-inch clamps, so I'll be able to just clamp that right on there. And then I ran a flex pipe into the 45 to get this kind of exit, but obviously that's sticking out way too far. So I'll have to cut back that flex pipe a little bit, so that way that's not sticking out at all. Not really ideal, but for the mini truck, something I don't drive every single day, that'll be good enough. And if down the road I got to replace that flex pipe, so be it, I guess. Maybe I'll change it some other time, but for now I'd really just like to get a quiet exhaust, because driving around with that old setup is pretty annoying. And that should do. We'll clamp everything together and see how it sounds. Alright, so here's kind of what we're working with after I kind of got it all mocked up. Unfortunately, this is a 2-inch ID, and it's a little bit bigger than what I got left there. and I can't get it to clamp down hard enough to grab. So what I'm gonna probably have to do is do kind of a notch cut in here. That way, maybe even 2 notch cuts. That way this will compress enough to grab what we have left there. Then once we got that figured out, I'm gonna use this hanger, actually probably upside down, and kind of go inside the frame there. Maybe put a self-tapper into the inside of the frame there, because there's absolutely nothing to hang to up here, and I definitely don't want to drill through the bed to kind of hang the right way. I'd rather not do that. So we'll get this cut up and get that clamped on there, and once we get that, I'll figure out the hanging situation and hopefully we can get that to work. Got that hanger kind of, as you saw, self-tap to the inside of the frame there. Got a couple saddle clamps, saddle clamp there, saddle clamp on the end of the flex pipe. It's kind of sticking out a little bit farther than I'd like it to, but I had pretty limited options with the flexibility of that flex pipe. So that'll do for now. It's kind of temporary. I'll end up figuring out something better down the road. I just really, like I said, to get rid of that loud exhaust would be really nice. So start it up and see how it sounds. Definitely got a pretty deep tone to it. It's kind of a more enjoyable deep tone than the raspy old muffler though. Yeah, it kind of does sound like a roiced out Civic, but a little bit deeper of a tone. Probably should have known with the color of the exhaust tip there. The burned look is usually Civic owners, you know, like that tuner car look. Should have known, but it was super cheap, and this whole exhaust setup was super cheap. It'll be better with the amount of back pressure that it has now too. Sure, it'll run a lot nicer. Won't bog out at all. Be a lot less bog at least. All right, guys. Well, there it is. For now, that's it for this one. There'll be plenty more projects, as you can see, on the mini truck. So plenty of videos to follow. And this is a whole nother video coming up soon. It's a custom camper that I'm building from scratch. Part 1 of that will be coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. And if you made it to this portion of the video, I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.